It's Adrian Bo, CEO of Adrian Bo Training and Auctions, and also Chief Auctioneer for Ray White Quakers Hill, the Tesla Group. Over the last 2 days, I've conducted multiple auctions on behalf of the #1 agent at Ray White in the world, being Josh Tesselin, and we have sold 9 properties all over reserve price. Some outstanding results, some Suburb records, and all very, very delighted purchases. We firstly sold number 21 Eclipse, and that was in Schofields there, and that sold for $1,475,000 with 8 registered parties. An incredible auction there. Then we had 23 Stewart Avenue in Blacktown. We created a brand new Suburb record for a single story, being $1,825,000. We had 16 registered parties. It was an incredible auction, a beautiful architect design home, and no surprise that we had a sensational result on that property there. Then we went to 29 Quakers Road in Marong, and that also sold above reserve for $1,320,000, and that's a Suburb record for a single level, and 6 registered parties there. Very active bidding, certainly. 43 Eastern Road and in Quakers Hill, core market, of course, for Josh, and that was an outstanding result for $1,256,000. We had 4 registered parties there, a lovely couple that were downsizing and had been living in the home for some decades, and what a privilege and honor it was to be able to support those folks in moving towards the next stage of their life. And then we had 14A Shatto Terrace, and that's also in Quakers Hill, and that sold for an outstanding price of $1,088,200. That's the second property we've sold in 2 weeks for this particular family. They're all heading down south to all be together, and what an incredible opportunity that is to help families reunite and be together. So what a terrific property that was as well, and it's no surprise given the presentation, the marketing, and the process that we achieved an above reserve result. Then we went to 40 Somerset Street in Stanhope Gardens. Terrific property, 5 registrations, selling above reserve there at 1,285. Terrific home, lovely vendors, static buyers on that one as well. 21 Well Street in the Ponds, and that was for $990,000. 4 registered parties on that one. A terrific part of the world there, and some outstanding vendors, and a very delighted buyer indeed. 114 Winton Drive in Glen Denning. Wow, that was a great auction. $915,000. We had multiple registrations there in the double digits, and certainly a very, very competitive auction on that one. Then we had 37 Buckwell Drive in Hassel, and that was for $995. 5 registered parties on that one, and certainly very happy owners, all above reserve, and some incredible record results, and certainly for us to be able to achieve such competition, such emotion at auction is all about our process. And our process, forensic buyer work, it also involves vendor expectation management, and that's certainly not a conditioning process, but it's an education process where we do advise the vendors on a daily basis, Josh in particular, and then myself in that final week of the campaign. I wrote an article in REB this week about that final week and the extreme importance of that 7-day period leading into the auction, and all the work that's got to be done in terms of follow-up, leaving no stone unturned, getting back to every buyer that remotely showed any interest since day one of the campaign, certainly doubling down and having your face-to-face buyer meetings with the most serious buyers there, and that will help you qualify those buyers in order to appropriately provide information and quality feedback to your vendors that's accurate and precise. There was a lease of the week with Chloe and Anthony from the team, Ray White Property Management. That was one Karen Place in Parklea. That was for $650 per week, a 2-bedroom, so that's a great result. And throughout New South Wales this week, there was only 149 auctions, so things are just starting to heat up, but we haven't wasted any time. We've been listing, selling all properties throughout January with multiple auctions, and over 20 sales Josh and his team have had over the last 14 days. Last week's clearance rate nationally across Australia was 59%. Our clearance rate today well exceeded that, and yesterday as well. Current cash rate from the RBA still sits at 4.35. Unlikely to move there, given that the underlying inflation is still at 3.5%. Despite what you hear in the media, they only report on headline inflation. There's a very sharp dichotomy between headline and underlying, or core inflation, sometimes as it's commonly referred to. And certainly from our point of view, there's some other agents which I've observed who I think their process sometimes can be a little bit arbitrary and a little bit capricious, and I think that my coaching to you is make sure that you have an impervious model that provides for outstanding vendor expectation feedback. It provides for forensic buyer work. It provides for outstanding marketing, outstanding presentation, and basically an all-in approach. And obviously, energy and mindset is a strategy. So unless your energy is a 10 out of 10, you have absolutely no business being at an open house, talking to a buyer or talking to your vendor. The owners deserve nothing but a 10 out of 10 when it comes to us representing them in terms of making an investment in marketing, and also investing in us, in our time for representation, only seeking the best trusted advisor in that local market with hyper local knowledge, and focusing primarily in a core market and secondary markets around that. So great to be here with you this week and reporting. Look forward to reporting back next week, and have a lovely Australia Day long weekend.